This is section 2.1e, more parallel lines and transversals and algebra. So first off, we're just going to solve for x and y in the diagram. So right here, these arrows mean the two lines are parallel, which means we have those special relationships with our angles where we have some of them congruent and some of them supplementary. So in this diagram, we have our alternate exterior angles, which means for solving for x, we can set the two expressions equal to each other. So there's not a lot of room here, so I'm going to do two steps at once. I'm subtract 8x from both sides and then add the 27. Oop. So we have 2x equals 32. Divide by 2. We have x is 16. Now for solving for y, we're going to have to plug back in. So we're going to do 10 times 16 minus 27. So we get 133. So for writing our equation for y, we could do 2y plus 9 plus 133 equal to 180. So we have 2y plus 142 equal to 180. If we subtract 142, we have 2y equal to 38. Divide by 2, we have y as 19. So for that, we used that the angles were a linear pair, and the top one we used that they were alternate exterior angles. Okay, number 2. So for solving for this next problem, our two x's that are side by side, which means they're a linear pair. So we're going to have 29x minus 3 plus 15x plus 7 equal to 180. If we combine like terms, we have 44x plus 4 equal to 180. Oops. Minus 4. So we have 44x equals 176 divided by 44. And we have x equals 4. Now, when we plug back in, we have to be careful because plugging back in, we want to make sure we plug into this top angle, the 29x minus 3, because that's alternate exterior angles. They would be congruent with this y expression. So 29 times 4 minus 3 gives us 113. So the equation we're going to write is that because they're alternate exterior angles, 13y minus 17 equals 113. We're going to add 17 to both sides, so we get 13y equals 113 plus 17. So we have 130 divided by 13 gives us y is 10. Okay, so then our next page, we have 2.1e, more parallel lines, transversals, and algebra. So our learning goal is I can make conjectures about the measure of angles formed by two parallel lines and a transversal, and I can, when given two parallel lines cut by a transversal, solve for missing angle measures and justify my reasoning. So in number 1, it says L and M are parallel, which means we can add that to our picture. We need to find x and y. So our two angles right here with x, they are supplementary because they are consecutive interior angles, which means 8x minus 10 plus 18x minus 44, add to 180. If we were to combine like terms, we get 18 plus 8, which is 26x, and negative 10 minus 44 is negative 54, equal to 180. Then add 54 to both sides. So we have 26x equals 180 plus 54, which is 234, divided by 26. So we have x equals 9. Now, just like the last problem, we have to be careful when we plug back in, because if we look, we have a set of congruent angles, but we also have a set of supplementary angles. So I would personally plug back in to the one that's congruent. So 13y minus 38 is equal to 18 times 9 minus 44. So if we put that in our calculator, we get our angle measured to be 118. So if we add 38 to both sides, we get 13y equals 156 divided by 13. We get y is 12. So x is 9, y is 12. Okay, number 2. If L and M are parallel, find the value of each missing variable. So in this top one, we have both of our expressions dealing with x, our corresponding angles, so they are equal to each other. So 9x minus 2 equals 5x plus 54. So just to save a little bit of time, I'm going to do 2 steps at once. So I'm going to add the 2 and subtract the 5x. So we get 4x equals 56. Divide by 4. We have x is 14. Now for solving for y, I'm going to plug back in. I'm just going to plug into this angle. So 9 times 14 minus 2 gives us 124. So we have a linear pair. So 10y plus 6 plus 124 equals 180. Combine like terms, we have 10y plus 130 equals 180. If we subtract 130 from both sides, we have 10y equals 50 divided by 10. We have y equals 5. So our 2 answers are 14 and 5 for x and y. Okay, number 3. So our 2 expressions with x are consecutive interior angles, which means they add to 180. So we have 6x plus 7 plus 3x minus 16 equal to 180. If we combine like terms, we get 9x minus 9 equals 180. Add 9 to both sides. So we have 9x equals 189 divided by 9. So we have x is 21. Now when we plug back in, we've got to be careful. I would plug back in to this angle right here, because that's the one that's a vertical angle with our y. So if we do 6 times 21 plus 7, I get 133. So 11y minus 32 is equal to 133. So add 32 to both sides. So 11y equals 133 plus 32. We get 165 divided by 11. So you have y is 15. So our two values for x and y are 21 and 15. Okay, our last one. So this time it tells us J and K are parallel and L and M are parallel. So we have something kind of cool happening here, because if we look, these two angles are not related at all. But because of the double set of parallel lines, this angle up here is also 11x minus 25. And now those two angles are related, just because of that double set of parallel lines. So we would have 11x minus 25 equal to 8x minus 1. So I'm just going to do two steps at once just to save us a little bit of time. So we get 3x equals 24, divide by 3. We get x equals 8. So then I would plug in here. So 8 times 8 minus 1 gives us 63 degrees. And that leaves us with a linear pair. So we have 15y minus 48 plus 63 equals 180. So we have 15y, 63 minus 48 gives us a positive 15 equals 180. If we minus 15 from both sides, we have 15y equals 180 minus 15, which is 165, divided by 15. So we have y is 11. So our two values are x and equals 8 and y equals 11. And that is the end of 2.1e notes.